Well, welcome back, actually, to excuse me, Victoria Knight, and we're actually wearing our Vegas Knights jersey in her honor here at the Citadel for Metal. I don't know why I always do that. The Citadel for Metal Fellowship here at Progressive Rock Central. Welcome, Victoria Knight. She is excellent to talk to. We've already talked a while back before her fantastic album, and I have my Word document, so I can't see if I'm holding it up. There we go. Um, so this is her last major album, and it was a symphony of immense magnitude. It was a She did a deep dive, did a lot of research, Greek tragedy, and learned and she may speak Greek, but she actually sang in Greek, and it was just a fantastic concept album. That's what I'm trying to get to. But go ahead, and I'll let you say hi, and then she's coming to us live from Melbourne. That's the one thing I didn't ask her, right? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Hello. It's Thank you so much for having me back as well, by the way. I always love coming to these interviews and talking. It's absolutely amazing. My name is Victoria Knight. I sing for the band Victoria K, and we're based here in Melbourne, Australia. So very far away from the rest of the world. But yeah, again, thank you so much for having us on. Thank you for having me on for the last album as well. And I'm really excited to get into talking about a bunch of new stuff. That's really cool. So yeah, thank you so much.
Definitely. And that's what we're gonna go with right away is the new album. So tell us. You told me already, but for the everyone else out there, how are you progressing with the new album, and what stage are you at?
Yeah, so when you first reached out to me, we were very much in pre-production stages or like recording stages. We were getting everything tracked. But as of like, I'm gonna say a few days ago, like maybe 2 days
Mhm.
ago, we've got all of our mixes back. So that's really cool. I'm currently, yeah, we're working on like going through the mixes and finishing off recordings, like finalizing everything, and then going into visuals and things like that. So like it's moving along. It's taken a bit of time. This album has taken a bit of time. Because of a few like roadblocks that we had in the way, but it's very exciting. It's like a project that I'm very, very passionate about and very, very excited about. So I think the fact that we're here and I've got all the tracks is like, I don't know, it feels like listening back to it when it's like kind of been recorded and mixed, it's like, oh my God, those are my songs. Like that's so cool. Yeah. So it feels really good to be like at this stage right now. So it's moving along really, really nicely now. Yeah.
All right, and so it will be released this year, I hope.
We're still working out like release schedules and things like that, depending on who we work with, but potentially sometime next year for a full album. We might have a few singles this year, but we're working on that whole release schedule at the moment. Yeah.
And she's pretty darn busy right now. I encountered her on Facebook a couple of days ago, and she's working on her finals. She's working on a degree, and with one more year to go, and she had her whatever they're called over there, trimester or semester
Yeah,
finals that
like
you were
mid-year.
in the middle of. Talk just a little bit about that.
Okay. Well, I just finished my mid-year exams for my degree. I'm currently in my undergraduate at the Conservatory of Music in Melbourne. I'm studying classical voice, like opera. A lot of my friends do know, a lot of people that know me do know because I talk about it all the time. I love my degree.
Yeah, yeah, you
Yeah,
love
it's
what you
kind of
do.
cool. Of course, I love what I do. And like, um, growing up as a classical musician, like composing a lot and like playing viola as well. it's really cool because I feel like a lot of the knowledge that I've learned here, like studying classical voice, I've been able to like pass it over onto our Victoria K project. It feels so strange. I feel like I'm having two careers in tandem right now, like parallel. Like I was in two operas last year.
Oh my God.
I did one in July, called To Remain by Jake Heggie, and then I did one in December, Hansel and Gretel by
Oh yeah.
um
Everyone
yeah,
knows that.
everyone knows that one by Humperdinck, who was a German composer from like the Romantic period. But yeah, so I've got the band stuff, but then I'm also working as a classical singer as well. So I feel really, really blessed that I can kind of sustain myself as a musician. Like, but yeah, I've learned so much throughout my degree, and I'm going to continue learning. And I'm working with such incredible musicians like every single day. I've got amazing tutors. Like I love my vocal teacher to
Okay.
death. She's incredible. So yeah, it's good. It's good. And everyone at the conservatory is so supportive of Victoria K as well. They all love it. They all come to the shows.
Oh, good.
Like
Good.
all these classical musicians that have like never like experienced being
Never
in an
heard metal or
environment.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them actually love metal too.
Oh,
Like a lot of I've got a few friends who like really, really love prog metal. That a lot of them love like deathcore like me. So it's like there's a lot of crossover that I don't think people realize.
sure.
Like musically, there's a lot of crossover, even though they sound like classical music and like hardcore sounds completely different. But yeah, musically, there's a lot of similarities, which I think is really cool. So
Definitely.
yeah.
I think Mary Elena from Mystify also does the same thing.
Mm.
She's very operatic, and I think she also does some opera things on the side. If you have those two YouTubes, if you have any YouTubes from that operatic, please send those to me. I'd love to put those up. I'd hear
Yeah,
them. I don't know if you do or don't,
I
but
don't.
uh,
At the moment, I don't. But I've got a few more performances that I'm working towards, like classically, a few more recitals and stuff. So maybe I will upload some things. I just haven't done that yet.
just
I've
to
never
give
done that.
people, that dual visual, because
Yeah.
she's very talented, and if you've never heard her sing, what the heck are you waiting for? But once you do, you'll definitely be back, and I'd love to see her on many different bands' albums because, well, like I say, you got to hear her vocals.
Oh, yeah. Well, like about that as well, I did a few features last year on a few records. Like one of them, there's this new band from Melbourne who like the singer is one of my best friends of all time. They're called Project Sun, Project SON.
Okay.
Um, and they're a hardcore band, like really, really hardcore,
Heavy.
based here in Melbourne, heavy. Yeah. Um, like I worked before we became very close friends. I was like really, really like pleased to be given the opportunity to work on a song with them. To like help write part of a song and feature on it. The song's called Addiction Antidote. You can find it on our Spotify as well.
Okay.
But I'm very, very, very proud of that one. It's kind of like I'm trying to think of what bands it would be like. It's kind of like uh Speed. There's a band in Australia called Speed who have done really, really well. It's kind of
Okay.
like Speed mixed with Spirit Box kind of vibes. So very different from like Victoria K, but it's the music I love. So it's really cool to like branch out and do that. Um, I play viola, as we know.
Oh,
So I
well,
did,
yep.
yeah, I play viola. So I did a few like features on another record, an experimental pop record. Um, called Slow Burn by an artist called Juniper Care. So like I've been doing a few things like that as well on the side, as well as
Perfect.
just the metal stuff. So yeah.
That was actually one of the questions. So you answered.
Oh,
If you have YouTube links to those, please send me because
oh
I'll
yes, I will.
include
I will send them.
I'll include that. Now, we sort of talked about this already. She can't tell you the title yet, or some of the singles. Can you tell me how many tracks? That's one question I didn't ask you.
Yeah, so there's going to be 10 tracks on this album.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a full length album. Potentially a few like instrumental like in between filler tracks. I'm currently working on those. If they end up being on the record, but yeah, definitely 10 full songs. They're all completely different too. So like that's awesome. I think the thing that's holding this album together is the mix. The mix is consistent. There's a lot of new themes coming through with this one too. Like the sound is completely different. We're kind of not, I'm not going to say stepping away, but we're kind of, I don't know why, like we've changed our musical direction. It's not symphonic. Like there's
But-
not any orchestra in it. A lot more electronic
Hmm.
elements in it. Like, because on the last two albums, as you know, we recorded with Budapest, the
Yes.
scoring orchestra. Yeah. So I think this album, the way that it kind of came to be, like the direction that just the way that I wrote it, it just didn't need any of that. A lot of those orchestral parts have now, I wanted to experiment with voice a little bit. So a lot of those orchestral parts that would have been done by an orchestra are now being done with voices
Oh, wow.
and harmony and like a lot of, you know, it's like a lot of like using voice in ways that voice wouldn't normally be used.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a lot of like rhythmic breathing and like kind of percussion
Oh
and
my
things like that
God.
too. So it's a very different direction. And then also like a lot of like techno elements, kind of trap elements in there too. I'm really into like Eurotrash. I love European dubstep, like European hardcore. So I put a little bit of that in there as well. I think I just went in like a completely different direction. And I've got this album that I'm so proud of now. So I'm very excited, like beyond excited to release this music and see what everyone thinks. But yeah, it's full album with 10 tracks. They're all completely different tracks. So it's really cool.
You've
Yeah.
definitely got me interested for sure. Is it is it a concept album? Because the last time you did a concept album, you weren't sure if you were going to go in that direction.
Yeah. It's hard. Like with the last album, I went like it's a bit ambitious for the second album to do a full concept album, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it, and I did
You
it,
did
and it
well.
was amazing. Oh, thank you so much. I think I wrote that album when I was like 16.
But,
Corre, there we are.
but yeah, you keep talking about it. I just wanted
Oh,
to show people.
okay. Yeah, I read that album when I was probably this one when I was 16.
Oh
Um,
my gosh.
yeah, so I really went in deep with that. And this new album, it's like not a concept, but it's thematically linked, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
So I wrote
There's a
these
theme.
songs,
Yeah.
there's a theme, but like it was unintentional. So I wrote all these songs between the ages of, I'm gonna say 18 and 20.
Oh my God.
Um, yeah, it's like it's been a long time coming. Like I always I'm still writing music now. It's like a part of my nature. I can't not write music. So I've got like a catalog of songs that I've like never showed the world. Like
Oh,
massive
wow.
books. Yeah, I've got books filled with music that I've not shown anybody.
Oh, we got
But
it.
oh, there's so much there. But like I wrote these songs, yeah, between the ages probably like 18 and 20, which is wild because it's the first set of songs that I've written as an adult. So like it almost feels like a coming of age story, a coming of age album in a way. Um, like between those years, I think as well, you go through the most personal growth
Yes.
because you're transitioning from like almost like adolescence into like full adulthood
Adulthood. Yeah, definitely.
and having like I feel like I was kind of pushed into adulthood anyway, like ever since I was in my teen years, because I was in the band and I was touring and playing, you know, all these shows and releasing all these albums. So I was already kind of there, but you don't realize that you're there and like until you actually have to go into the real world and you're like, oh my God, I'm in the real world now. That's a different feeling. So yeah, all these songs are very thematically linked. I think it's the most it's like it's weird. It's the hardest album for me to talk about in the sense that all these songs are deeply personal. Um, like super deeply personal. And like people that I know that I've played some of these to, they're like, oh, that song's about this person and that song's about this. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. How would you know? Yeah.
So yeah. So these songs are about like again, it's almost like a snapshot of who I was at that specific time. And
And
I've like, yeah, what
that
were you
will be
saying?
wonderful for people that are that age right now to hear, yeah,
Mm,
you go through these maybe ups and downs, but you come through it and look at where she's at,
yeah.
you can make it.
Yeah, of course. And like, I'm not saying my life was, I've always had a very good life. I'm very, very blessed with the people that I have around me and my family and my friends. And like, I think it was like the transition, especially into university and into like, it was pushed into a different world. I don't know, like more of a personal transition anyway. But yeah, like each song is about a very, very, some of them are about very real events, specific events. Some of them are about just after or like inner feelings of those events. But it does feel like a coming of age record. I know it's like kind of corny. It is a little bit corny if I
No,
say that, but it does. It feels that way. Like it's about kind of like this growth that you go through and then like what that's like on the other side. I'm kind of like um
yeah,
I can't explain it. I'm like, it's kind of like the analogy that I've got for it is like, well, I even talk about it in a few of the songs, like this feeling of what it feels like to die and then be reborn, or like to die and then what's on the other side of that, like to go through like the door, to go through the
yeah.
veil, and then realize what's there. That's kind of what this album. That's like the journey that this album takes you on. But it was unintentional, and then I put all the songs together, and I'm like, wait, this all makes sense. So it was kind of cool how it came together that way.
No, I really think that could help a lot of people, and that's wonderful. And a lot of people will be wanting to hear that. And you're not that far. I mean, if I was to create, an album about my 20s, 30 or 40 years later, that's different. But you're not that far away from, those
No.
years that you were talking about. And speaking of that, it's a perfect time to bring it up. I happened to be looking through your YouTube videos and bumped into, and I don't know why I didn't talk about this last time we talked, but the
Mm.
video of them playing Hearts Barracuda when she was 13. And you got it, and it's on my Facebook, and it's in the list of videos that I'm going to put at the end of this interview. But you've got to watch that. I mean, you're going to be like, you got to be kidding me. It's like they're in the studio and she's pushed Anne out of the way and said, I'm going to sing this. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding about that. But I mean, it sounds that good. And she's 13.
That
when,
was,
when
yeah,
did you start? I mean,
like singing in general.
yeah, I think we talked about that last time, but never hurts to hear it again.
Never heard it again. I started singing lessons when I'm trying to remember if it was when I was 5 or 6, because I was like,
Yeah.
I
No,
feel
I
like
remember it being early.
yeah, I remember like, I think every parent puts their kids into like singing and dancing, their little girl into singing and dancing. And I kind of just like latched onto it. I was like, this is what I want to do. And I'm like, the biggest thing that like I'm just so grateful for is that like my parents like believed in a child.
Yeah.
They were like, okay, I guess she's gonna be a singer then. I guess that's what she's gonna do. And they just like fully supported me ever since I was a kid. Like it was never anything that was forced. I had fully wanted to do it always. I don't know. I'm kind of blessed that I found my passion so young. Um, so I started singing when I was, 5 or 6, getting like lessons there. And then by the time I was 9, I started working in the studio with our producer, Lee Bradshaw. Like he's basically like a second father to me. He's
Wow.
like helped raise me. He taught me piano, he taught me composition, he taught me how to work as a professional. He taught me how to record. And that's kind of like when we were like, we should do these covers. And that's where these covers kind of came
Mhm.
from. So like I recorded like at the time as well, I recorded an EP when I was probably 12 that never got released. Because I listened to it in a few years and I was like, I sound like a child because I was a child.
Yeah, but
Oh, there you go.
you didn't sound like that on this Barracuda.
Yeah,
And
the
she
cold.
she also does a cover, and she'll remember the name of Evanescence song. And I'm telling you, it's almost as good as Amy's, if
Oh,
not.
I did a few of those. It might be My Heart Is Broken.
It could be. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I
Beautiful.
was doing those like when I was in like grade six, and then like at the start of high
Sixth grade.
school.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, it was wild. And around like the start of high school, I was doing those covers as well. At the time, we were working with a drummer from like on the Barracuda cover, you'll see it's the drummer, her name's Sina. She's from Germany. A guitarist named Andre. I think Andre is on that one from Romania, and the bassist, I can't remember which bassist we work with because there are a few. But we were kind of like a little online band.
I was going to ask, are these all like friends you went to high school with? But no, you met
No,
them
the we
online.
met we met online, and it's like it's wild. Like I was kind of like a YouTube kid, like growing up as a YouTube, like a kid that was like I didn't watch YouTube, but like I was on YouTube. Growing up as one of those like YouTube kid musician prodigy things. Like it's kind of it's so different
It
from
is
what
a
I do
prodigy.
now. I'm not saying I'm a prodigy. No, that's not what I
Yes,
meant.
you
But
are.
like no.
And if you don't, I will.
No, it's kind of like in that category of like people. But yeah, we I worked a lot with Andre Serbu, and we formed like really real friendships. Like, and I worked a lot with Sinner. Like, we're still in touch. I haven't spoken to Andre for years, but me and Sinner are still kind of in touch now. It's cool to see what everyone's doing as adults.
Yeah.
It's really awesome. But like we reached out to them, and I think then we just kind of formed like this friendship. And we uploaded a lot of covers together. Like you can go through the YouTube, like he'd be like, "Oh, let's do this song," and then I would like record the vocals for it, or I'd suggest a song, and then we'd all record it together. I think my favorite cover that I did with Sinner was an AC/DC like crossover with a Lady Gaga song. I think it was Poker Face,
Oh, yeah.
and
I
I
think
can't
I
remember the
have
AC/DC
seen that
track.
one. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that's my favorite cover that I've done ever, 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 ever. That was so fun. But like back then I also featured on Sinner's album. I think it was called Chi
Okay.
yeah, but then from there I joined a metal core prog band here in Melbourne when I was probably 13. I remember I had my 14th birthday with them, so I was 13.
Oh, yeah. All right.
So I remember like touring around, just touring around Victoria with that band, which was really awesome. And we're still friends today. They're a deathcore band
Good.
now. But and from there, that's kind of when I started learning opera, like classical vocals. When I was 13, 14, I've been learning classical voice, like I've been training as a classical singer ever since, but I had all the other training beforehand that allowed me to do both. Um, and I was still working with my producer, and then I started playing viola at the time and thinking about my career more as a musician rather than just as a vocalist because I was like, I can do so much more.
Yes, you
Then
can.
like I want to do more than just sing. So then like Victoria K was always in the background, like it was always my solo thing. And then as you know, we formed when we were supporting Alvide. Then I released my album when I was about 14, Essentia, the
Yeah.
first one. And then we went into lockdown, and then I wrote another album during lockdown, Corre, and then we released Corre. Um, and I don't know if when I last spoke to you if I did this, but about a year ago we played with Blind Guardian from Germany.
Yes.
Yeah, and
I was
Catatonia.
gonna
And
ask about that, but go ahead.
oh, there we go. Yeah, that was about a year ago. We played. It was wild. Like we got the gig for Blind Guardian about a year before it was announced. Like we knew about it. We were like, oh, this is awesome. And
Yeah.
like Charlie,
Really
our
epic.
our extreme, yeah, pretty epic. Our extreme vocalist, like Blind Guardian and Catatonia are two of his favorite bands.
Wow.
So like a few weeks before the Catatonia show, they were like, we saw you're playing with Blind Guardian, or the booking agent said, we saw you're playing with Blind Guardian. Would it be okay just because we don't know your agreements, would it be okay if you did this show the next day? It was the Catatonia show. So I was like, yeah, okay, yes. And the Blind Guardian and Catatonia shows, like that whole weekend was insane. I'm so grateful for it. Like those were still probably the largest shows that we've played, I think, because it was at Northcote Theatre here in Melbourne, which is a couple thousand, and then the Croxton, which I might be like one or 2,000. But yeah, it's really, I'm really blessed to have played with them, and they're both just amazing bands. I'm still um I listen to all their music and I'm like, damn, we did that. That was really cool. But obviously, like
Gotta
now we're
feel
like,
good. Yeah.
it does feel good. Now we're moving on to the next thing. We just played a show with our, have you heard of a band called Valhalla? I
Yeah.
feel like you'd like them. Yeah, we just did a show with Valhalla, like
Yeah.
very beautiful friends of ours. And we've got a show coming up on the 19th of September with a band from Japan called
Yes.
Fate Gear.
You
Yeah, called
you
Fate
jump.
Gear.
Those are some questions I was going to ask you. How did the Valahar go?
Really great, really, really great. That was like, because we hadn't played any shows this year because we were just focusing on the record. Um, and Valhalla, we played with them at Blind Guardian as well. And like I've known the guys for a few years, so I'm so happy they reached out. Or like
Yeah.
we reached out to them and we're like, if you ever want supports, like we would love to jump on. And they were like, of course. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. That was probably my favorite show that I've played. Even I love that show more than playing the bigger stages. Just the pure energy in the room. It was sold out, which is incredible, but the pure energy in the room was insane. And that was the first show we played almost a completely new set with like a
Oh,
bunch of the new songs. We played
good.
pretty much all of our new tracks because I wanted to see how they went. And I think like because of the new songs, I feel like we were received like so differently. Like we had a mosh pit, we had um like obviously we had some people like singing the songs that were already out. But with the new tracks, it was like a whole different energy was brought into the room, which
Wow.
I'd never felt on stage before. Maybe it's because I'm so passionate about them, or maybe because the tracks just hit differently. I don't know what it is, but
Your
um,
performance probably too.
maybe because
The
I
way
was
you
just dying
perform.
to get on stage.
Yeah. Well, that
Maybe,
and play is singing music. It's brand new to you, or not new, but newly developed. Yeah. I
yeah.
mean that.
One of it was it's really cool. Like one of the tracks. I can talk about what the tracks are like, but one of the tracks, it's like a cross between modern metal and Euro trash,
Okay.
and like almost like disco. There's one part like
Disco's fine.
a disco beat comes in, and everyone really liked it. I was so nervous with how that was going to go because I was like, I wonder how the metal fans are going to go with like disco, but they love the disco. Our drummers kind of like likened some of the new stuff to like Sleep Token a little bit. It's got more Sleep Token vibes.
Okay.
But everyone seems to love the disco track. Like that's my favorite track on the record. Everyone seemed to love it live. So I'm so excited to show everyone this song. I'm dying. But
That I was
yeah.
going to ask you, how did they, take these new songs? And that's great. Good to hear.
Mm.
Um, I I definitely want to keep going with the new one, but just real quick, for how well did it do, and how much did it maybe put you on a bigger stage? Because I think
Yeah.
it should have if it didn't. It
Yeah,
was well received.
it was well received. It was very ambitious for a second album, and I know that. Um, and I'm just like so proud that we pulled it off. Like
And I
it
think you
was
did. Didn't you do the whole thing? Because you told me you were going to do the whole thing
live.
beginning.
Yeah, we did it once. We did it as it was released. And like as it was released, no one really knew it. So everyone like came to our show and they were like, where's Lacuna?
Well, they're
Where's
looking for the.
Lacuna? Yeah, but there are like the whole album, I'm really happy with how it did. There were obviously like a lot of I think it brought us to a different audience again because it was different from the first album. Um, I feel like every album we're just a completely different band now at this point. But like
That's
it
good.
was different. It is good. It changes good, but it was different from the first album, so it brought us into a different audience. Like I feel like we wouldn't have been able to play that show with Catatonia if it wasn't for that album, purely because of like genre, like stylistic similarities. And same with Blind Guardian. Like I feel like it wouldn't have translated if like
Yeah.
again with like just stylistic things. Um, but I'm very I am happy with how Quarter did it. It did well in like a different way. Like it brought like it reached a different audience than what Essentia did. So
Okay.
which is really cool.
Broadens your audience. Yeah.
Broadens my audience, yeah. And it's again, I'm still so proud of that album. But like songs like Persephone did really well.
Good.
Everyone loves Persephone. People want to hear Persephone live. So
Absolutely.
that's
Good.
so I'm really grateful for that. That's one of my favorites on the album as well. And Pomegranate and Tower as well. People really want to hear those live too. But they go for like 8 minutes long. So when we put it in a set, if we're playing like a half-hour set, that's like half our set gone with
Gotta
like
cut
with
them a
one
little bit.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah. But everyone, yeah, those ones did well and people seem to really like them. So I'm very blessed and grateful for that. Yeah.
No, thank you very much for that album. It really is one of my
Oh, thank you
favorite.
so much.
It's right up there with some of my favorite of all time as far as metal.
Oh, that's so lovely.
The
Thank
fact
you.
that somebody could put together, because you don't really, or I haven't heard that many metal concept albums. I've heard thousands of progressive, but you really did it and you did it well.
Thank
Go
you so
back to
much.
the go back to the new album a little bit more. You've had some lineup changes. I know some of it is still in process. Do you want to talk about that? Did that sort of slow down the progress of the new album, or no? That it was
Um, no, because it kind of all happened after the album was recorded.
okay.
But we have a few different people on the record. So to preface it, last year we released a single, Frozen, that I wrote with our drummer, James Davies. We recorded and wrote that one together. So which we're very proud of. So we
Yes.
had
Good.
James play on that, obviously. Charlie was singing on that one. I was singing on that one. We had a separate bass player because we were moving between bass players at the time. Now we've got Ethan Calusi in, and we had Troy Downward on guitar. So we record with slightly different people to who plays live sometimes.
Okay.
On this new album, James was going to record it, our drummer, but then things with scheduling didn't really line up. So we had another drummer play called Jerry Pentazis, who played on Quarter as well. Ethan played bass on this one. Charlie obviously screamed.
Yeah.
And we had our recording guitarist who we've been working with since Quarter, Troy Downward again, play on this record. And like he's just amazing. I
Yes.
absolutely adore Troy. Troy is incredible. It's really cool because he likes metal, but he's not like a metal guitarist. So I send him all these charts, like songs with like three different guitar parts, and like he's like recording all the stems separately, and it just sounds huge. Like he sounds huge, really large. So I'm very grateful to be working with him and working with everyone on this record. And again, like it was produced like me and Lee Bradshaw. I came to Lee with all the songs, like I'd written all the parts already. Um, I did all the synth tracks and all the orchestral tracks. There are a few orchestral bits. I did that all myself on this one.
Wow.
Like a lot of the like that side of the production I did, and then I worked again, yeah, with Lee as like a we're both kind of the musical directors of this whole project, so we kind of finalized all that together. And then our sound engineer, Michael Bradshaw, who's Lee's brother.
Oh, wow.
They work together. Yeah. So Lee
Yeah.
Bradshaw and Michael Bradshaw, he records me, and he's also a DJ, and so he
I bet
helps with.
that so he could push the product.
Yeah, of
Kidding.
course. Yeah,
Yeah.
he can. He should. No, but he also like helps a little bit with that. Because I had a lot more techno stuff going into that. So he kind of like put a little bit into that too. Um, and we worked with this mixer slash masterer on Frozen and Lacuna XXIV and Humanity XXIV that we released last year. Lance Prince, who's I
Okay.
think he's based in Melbourne, but he works with Alpha Wolf, Thornhill, and Void of
Oh, wow.
Vision. And he's like completely changed the sound of the band. Like you listen to Frozen and then you listen to our old music, it's like, wait, it's a different thing. You could
Different
even
band.
listen to
Yeah.
you could listen to Lacuna and Lacuna XXIV that we released last year, because the second one was mixed with Lance and it's again a completely different sound. So like I think a lot, again, the songs like what that I've written are completely different, but I think a lot of what the new sound is like
Is it like
created
the
by us
new
the mix.
version of Lacuna?
Um, the sound is a bit more like that, but instrumentation wise, it's very different. It's closer to, if you did listen to Frozen, it's closer to Frozen,
Okay.
kind of a bit more metalcore-y, a bit more pop metal. Not pop, I wouldn't say pop metal. It's not very pop metal. It's very goth. We've stuck to the goth thing. I don't think I can escape the goth thing because
I
it's
don't
who
know
I
how you
am.
could. Yeah.
It's who I am inside.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very much still goth metal in like in slightly different ways. But like, yeah, I think Frozen is kind of the bridge of
Yeah.
for that sound. Like Frozen is it's a very good bridge for the sound. It's like a cross between I was talking to Lee about it and he was saying like it's like Essentia but grown up, but
Oh, wow.
also completely different. Like I was like, okay, thank you. Yeah,
And
so Frozen is a
where are
perfect.
you recording it? And are you with a new label or still?
Yeah, so
Go ahead.
I can't really talk about label things at the moment.
Okay.
Um, obviously, like everything gets announced when it gets announced with that. But I recorded it where I always record. I recorded a few things, like Ethan, Jerry, and Troy and Charlie. They all recorded from home.
Okay.
I recorded a few of the like backing vocals from home, but I recorded all my lead vocals like um in the studio. It's called Studio Chatty. It's based in Bradshaw, based in Burwood,
Okay.
um, where Michael and Lee work from. But I think like it's like my focus was so shifted on this record. Like usually my focus is very much like I am a singer. I have written everything, but I'm a singer and I'm going to record this album. A lot of the focus is on recording, but the recordings like took me, I don't know, like 2 weeks.
Oh,
Like
wow.
I recorded this album very quickly because by the time I'd got into the studio to record it, I'd spent so much time
Prepare. Yeah.
preparing and like writing the songs. It's like I could record them in my sleep. I knew them so well at that point. Um, because there were a few delays with a few things. Our producer's also a composer. He wrote an opera in
Oh,
Saudi
wow.
Arabia. So he was like in between Europe and Australia for a very long time. So that kind of delayed things a little bit. Some of the musicians, like obviously everyone's got their own lives,
Yeah.
personal things, delayed things. Um, this album took way longer to make than Corre did, which is wild. But I
Yeah.
think because of that, I was talking to the others about it. I think because the fact that it took so long to make it, like it has like it's like the universe is like this is gonna do well. I don't know. It kind of,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? I can't
You've
explain
put
it.
more effort into it and you've taken your time with it as well.
Yeah. And
Not
again,
that
that's
you
what
didn't
we want
on
to focus
Corey
on.
because you told me about all the research and everything you did on that. But
Yeah.
definitely,
Yeah.
yeah. Will you tour this new album? Hopefully.
I hopefully we really want to tour this new album.
And
But I
when I
think
say tour, obviously you're going to do
Australia.
Australia, but also hopefully Europe and maybe even pop over to the US, I hope.
Fingers crossed. I'd
Yeah.
love to tour through the US. I've had like a few friends who have just come back touring in the US. I think I have a friend who just toured with a band called Throne.
Yeah.
Yeah, Heaven's Gate just toured with them. So the singer was telling me about um, America. He's like, oh, we've never toured America before, but it was like so exciting. And he
You
loved
see a
it.
lot of negative stuff on the news, and
You
that
do.
is negative, but the whole country's not like that, and the whole country's
No,
not
no, of
behind that.
course. Yeah, like I wouldn't expect the whole country to be
Yeah.
like that. It's such a big country. Like you can't kind of blame the
Yeah.
people, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, you do see a lot of negative stuff. But he absolutely loved it. He loved touring through America. He's like, oh, you got to do it. I'm like, yeah, when I get the opportunity to, of course I will. But
And maybe hitching a ride with somebody else. That's Vision of Atlantis, and a lot of these people do
mm,
that. They jump on as support, but
yeah,
that'd be
that's
great if
probably a
you
way we
could.
would do it.
It would be great if you could get picked up by somebody because you're ready. I think you're
Oh,
ready.
thank you so much. But yeah, that's the goal, to like potentially hop on a few tours with people overseas. I feel like planning my own tour overseas at the moment probably would be um, probably not the right move right now. But again, you never know what's going to happen. But
Sure.
yeah, hopping on a tour would be really, really amazing. And I hope this new album can kind of like open up different avenues and bring in different
Yeah.
audiences that we haven't, like completely different audiences that we haven't had before.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what that does.
One of the people you bumped into last year, I think it was last year, was the band Anna, and you guys did was it two shows? Or I know definitely one, but I think it might have been two.
Three shows.
Three
We've
shows.
done
Okay.
three shows together.
Do you want to talk
Yeah.
about that and meeting them and
Yeah, for
great,
sure.
great bunch of people. And they're also, by the way, making a new album. Just announced that. But go ahead. What was that like?
Yeah, they are. Well, like I absolutely adore Anna, like the band and the person, like with all my heart. She's probably one of the most gorgeous people I've met in my whole life. Like one of the kindest people I've met in my whole life. Like, um, we talk sometimes. Like we're like, she's so supportive of me. I'm so supportive of her. They just toured through Japan.
Yeah, yeah,
They just toured through Japan, I believe. So like that was really cool to see.
absolutely.
I the last show that I did with them was just before they left for Europe, and they were like, when are you going?" I was like, "Hopefully soon." But
Take
they're
us with you.
amazing. Take us with you.
Yeah.
They're amazing. Yeah, I first met them when we did our Symphony of Shadows tour. That was the two shows. That was a show in Melbourne, a show in Bendigo. The show in Melbourne was at the Curtain. That was like amazing. That was one of my favorite shows that I've ever played. Um, Still like at the top of like my list of favorite shows.
Wow.
That's got to be one of them. That was really fun. Um, and yeah, Anna are just great people to work with, like just to hang with. I love hanging with them. Like they're just gorgeous, gorgeous people. Um,
And
like
they're really into the comic book scene and
oh, I love their
incorporating that
comics.
within their music, which is great. It gives it that
It's like a
uh,
different edge.
yeah, the adventure. Yeah.
I love their comic books. Like
Yeah.
I remember the first show that I played with them was in Melbourne at the Curtain in Melbourne. And we put all our merch out and they had their comic books and their posters. And I was like saying to Anna, I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. Like I was going through I have, I think, their first issue of
Yeah.
one of their comic
They
books.
sent it to me. It's been wonderful.
Yeah, they gave one to me and I've got one of their posters as well. Um, I think it's so Josh, who's the guitarist, who's Anna's husband. It's him and his brother Aaron.
Yeah.
They run like a comic book company and they do it themselves. But like, um, it's so cool. I really, really love it. It's like I've never seen a band do that before. Like go, like really into like the comic book thing before. I've seen a few band make comics, but like that have like made it a part of their brand. I think it's such a cool like different
The
thing.
new Batwoman, Victoria Kay.
I'm gonna make a comic now. But like, yeah. Well, there are so many bands that have done it. Like I've seen
Yeah,
Evanescence have done it, Ice Nine Kills have done it, Bad Omens have done it. Um, it's a really cool like edge, and metal fans
love
and
it.
comic book. Oh, I love it. Like
Yeah,
we're all just nerds. We love the comic book. We love collecting things. We love comic books. So it's such a cool niche to have, like to make a
definitely.
part of your brand. So I think that's amazing that they're doing that.
Now, let me ask you this, and I don't know if you could talk about this, but we haven't even talked about this yet. But
Okay.
have you already put together hopefully one or two videos for the new album? And how many will you do, or how many do you plan to do? And do you
That's the
plan to do,
thing.
go ahead.
Oh, well, that's the thing. Like we're still kind of like I said, we just got the mixes back. So I haven't got any videos for that yet because
Right, right.
we just finished all the songs. But like I've planned everything. Everything is planned. Everything is written down. I've got a little spreadsheet. I've got all the visuals planned. I've got ideas for music videos and things. I want to take a different approach visually with this record. I think I want to make it a bit more raw. Like with Cora, it was very much like I remember like speaking to our videographer at the time. His name's Gary Robertson, and I was like, I want a very cinematic approach to this, like visually. So if you look at videos for like Tower,
Yeah,
it was
they are.
shot in a very cinematic way. But like, I think because this album, like musically and content wise, is so raw, I think I want to go a different approach with it. Obviously, it's even more goth than before. Like, it's gonna
Wow.
be more goth. Um, so I'm definitely gonna lean into that a lot. But we haven't, yeah, got any videos for that yet. Again, because we've just got the mixes back. So I'm gonna start working on getting all of that, you know, underway very soon. Um,
Do you have Microsoft Project and you've got its schedule and everything built on it? Have you ever used Microsoft
no,
Project
I'm actually
Management?
not. I have just like a massive Word document
Oh,
with
okay.
everything on
No,
there.
okay. Well, however you do it, that's cool that you've
Yeah.
done that.
I've got
Um,
like a spreadsheet and a massive Word document.
but she's got it planned. Do you think, because there weren't as many videos for Correa, will
Mm.
there be more? Hopefully.
Maybe,
More. Okay.
hopefully,
Still too
maybe.
early.
Still too early to tell. Maybe like I'm still working out. Like I have ideas of which songs I want to release as singles. I think we're gonna do more singles than before, but potentially more videos. Hopefully more videos. We'll see how that goes. But like, yeah, definitely more singles. And it's just kind of working out like which one do I release first? Because like, do I go with the heaviest one or do I go with the one that's kind of similar to what we used to do, or do I go with the one that's completely different? Like it's just working out like which way to go about it. So I've got a few different ideas of that, which I'm kind of sorting through at the moment.
Well, I mentioned it offline, but Peter Renzullo, Amify, he's a film producer over there, award-winning film producer.
Yeah.
If I'll send you the name, and if you're interested, give him a call. This
Mm.
guy is, like I say, winning awards,
Oh, award-winning
and
producer. Yeah, that's amazing.
just see if he can do something for you. But yeah, fantastic. I'm glad to hear that. I really hope there will be more videos because your videos are always intense. They're always good.
Thank you.
Um, and let's see. And you already talked about Lacuna. You talked about Valar. Do you have an update on bands that you like? I know we talked about that last time, but are there new bands that you've found that you're interested in?
Oh yeah,
That maybe,
100%. 100%. I think like since the last time we've spoken, I've kind of managed to find myself in a completely different scene
oh wow,
altogether. I've like a lot of the people that I surround myself with are very much in the deathcore, like hardcore scene. There are a lot of like really cool Australian bands that I've been getting into purely because like I've like they've become friends of mine. I'm like, I actually
Yeah.
really dig this music. Like the scene, it's really cool and really supportive. There's this one amazing band based in Melbourne. They're a deathcore band, probably one of my favorite bands at the moment. And the drummer, his name is Frankie Demuro. And I met him because he filled in for James when we played with Blind Guardian in Catatonia. So I'm like I talk to him all the time. Like we're still good mates. And I found his band called Body Prison, who played at Good Things Festival here in Australia. They won one of the competitions, so they got to play in Melbourne. Um, they're a deathcore band. They're from Melbourne, Body Prison. Very, very, very good. Very good. Like another band that I'm really into, I think they're from Melbourne as well. They're called Melancholia. They're like a
Oh,
gothic death metal band. They all look like Marilyn Manson. The singer
okay.
kind of looks like Marilyn Manson, and there's like screamo stuff. What other bands am I into right now? I'm really like I love Sleep Token. I've always loved Sleep Token. Very
Okay.
into Sleep Token. Um, I'm really into a guitarist called I Built the Sky.
Okay.
They're kind of metal. They're kind of like Polyphia a little
Okay.
bit. But he's from Melbourne too. He's absolutely insanely cool. Um, and I think it's called Not Enough Space. There's a band that I've been listening to a lot recently. Yeah, they're called Not Enough Space. I don't know if you've heard of them. They might be
No.
from America, but
Okay.
it's two women, and they both scream and they make like death metal, and I'm like, that's so awesome. That's so cool.
The
Um,
combination has got to be good.
oh, the combination is incredible. But and another band that I've been into at the moment, they're from France. They're called The Sunday Sadness, and
Oh, okay.
they they sing in French, and it's more again more metalcore stuff. But like I also love jazz. I've There's a violinist, her name's Anwen Roberts, who makes like folk jazz violin and stuff. So I'm really into that too. My music
Good.
taste is so varied, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of good things.
Most people,
Yeah,
most people I talk to when they're in the midst of, well, you're finished with your album, but when they're in the midst of an album, it's like, no, I don't listen to anything else. I'm focused on this. But
really,
sounds
I
like
love to listen to
sounds like
heaps
you're
of
able to
stuff.
balance. Yeah.
Yeah, I especially when I'm writing an album, I love to listen to heaps of different things, like to get different
Yeah.
ideas. At the time of writing this album, I've always loved Spirit Box. I was very, very, very into Spirit Box, and I feel like you'll be able to hear that when you listen to the album. But
Yeah.
um, I was also like really into a band from they might be from Denmark. I don't They're not metal. They're like a prog folk band. They're called um it's spelt Gate, but I think it's pronounced like got.
Oh, okay.
And they mix like folklore with prog rock
There's a lot of
stuff.
those. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really into them. At the time I was writing this as well, I was really into a techno group from Ukraine called Goa, Go_A. I don't know. Um,
Haven't heard them, but
yeah, they're like a European techno group. Um,
yeah.
Really into that. I was really into like Lorna Shore at the time as well. Lorna Shore are one of my favorite
Yeah.
bands of all time. And another one of the bands that I found while I was writing this album that are still probably one of my favorite bands now. I can't believe I didn't mention them. They're from Sweden. They're called Imminence. You
Oh,
might have heard of
I
them.
think I have heard of them. I haven't heard the
Yeah.
music yet, but
No, it's really cool. It's deathcore kind of, not as heavy as that, but the singer's a violinist, so he plays and screams as well. So I think just like the idea of implementing different, but like I kind of did it with Kore a little bit. I implemented a bit of like the ancient Greek instruments. I've still got a few of those in this album. I've got the dulcimer
oh, good.
happening a lot because I love the dulcimer.
No,
But
Sounds
We love
beautiful.
it. Thank you. But I think implementing like different elements, that's kind of what I found while listening to a bunch of this different music. Like I can put so many other things in there, which is where a lot of like the voice things came from. I was like, what am I good at? Oh, like singing's like my thing, I guess. So
Well
that's
said.
why
You do it
I've
well.
kind of, oh, thank you. But like as like a musician, like singing, I feel like I can do things with like nothing crazy with my voice, but like I think I can do things with my voice that haven't really been seen in metal a lot before. So like a lot of percussive elements and a lot of um
Yeah, I'm really
like
interested to
yeah.
hear what that, like you said, the vocal sounds taking the place of instruments. I think that's going to be really interesting.
I'm really like it's come out really, really cool. It's come out really cool, I think. Yeah. It's a lot
Are
of
you,
like a lot of it's supported by harmony.
are you involved in any other side projects right now? I don't
At
know
the
how you could
moment,
be. You're already busy enough, but
at the moment, I'm not. I do like right now, I'm not um involved in anything specifically, but like I do a lot of like session music. I do a lot of like my side hustle. My side hustle. I feel like I got so many side hustles, but like I do it. I do a lot of session music. I do a lot of like writing for other people and composition work. So I haven't got any projects that I'm working on at the moment, but I kind of balance that with my own. It's cool because I get to write things that I wouldn't normally write.
yeah,
Like
that really
yeah,
gives you
but
an outlet. Yeah.
oh yeah, of course. But the thing is, like, I write music that isn't metal all the time. Well, you'll hear it on the album as well. Not to bring it back to the album, but there's one song that's like a lo-fi track, and it has like a band come in for like a little tiny section, and then it's back to
Well,
lo-fi. But
that'll be interesting. I'm telling you.
it's different. But
Yeah.
I mean, like, I feel like other bands have done it before, but it's different for us,
Yeah.
you know. Um, but I'm not really featuring on anything at the moment. I think when I started writing this album, I kind of like said to everyone, I had a few offers for things to do things here in Australia to write for people and to do a few like collaborative projects, but because I was so focused on the record, I just couldn't take anything else on. I've got a few like small collaborations coming up, maybe that like I'm kind of working it on right now since I've like because after I recorded my parts, all I had to do was just like kind of keep the process on track and then like review everything. So I'm kind of starting to take on more things again now. But I am doing some more work in opera as well, like my other side hustle,
Yeah. The other
like
side of
outside of
you,
this. Yeah,
the
the
other
other
side
side
of
of
her.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
So
about,
it's cool.
and maybe I'm way out there. Any chance of a solo album?
You know what? I've thought about it. And then I like the thing is, it's so hard to navigate with our band because everything that I write for Victoria K is like a solo thing. Like
That
it's
belongs on one of their albums. Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like I feel
Yeah.
like Victoria K, as much as it's a band, it's still kind of a solo project in the sense that like
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing it, but like I've always thought about writing something completely different outside of the world and releasing it just as Victoria Night. Like as the band's progressed, like I am writing a lot more with our drummer, James, because he's been there since the very beginning. Like
Yeah.
he's as much a part of this band as I am. Like,
Yeah.
I wrote a few parts on this record with Charlie, our extreme vocalist. Like he wrote a few of his things. Um, for future Victoria K stuff, I've got I want to start writing with people from different bands. Like I've got a few guitarists that
Okay.
are absolutely incredible that I'm gonna be working on a few things with for like you always got to think about the next thing. So like for future
Yes.
songs,
Yeah.
yeah, I've got a few guitarists and a few musicians like from different metal bands here in Australia
Wow.
that I'm gonna be working with for Victoria K still. But I have thought about releasing something as Victoria Night and like because I've got this whole chunk of songs that's like not it wouldn't go on a Victoria K record.
You had
So
that library you were talking about. Yeah.
my library of songs, I've got like a drawer in my room that's got like books upon books of like songs that I've written throughout the years. I really love I don't even know what the genre is. It's like acoustic, like folk jazz. I'm
Oh,
really into
wow.
this folk jazz thing. I've always loved folk music,
Yeah.
like as we know, because like my whole concept album is like folk and
It's a
Greek folk
way
music.
stories were passed from generation
Mm.
to generation. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always been really, really interested in folk music, folklore. Um, but like I love electronic music so much. I really love electronic music. Like my whole family and all my friends will know. I love like lo-fi and um like kind of like really dark electronic stuff. Like one of my favorite artists is Aurora. I feel like everyone likes Aurora.
All right.
She's not really as dark, but I love that side of things. Um, and like prog and experimental stuff. So I thinking I want to like if like after like I've done everything with this record that I kind of need to do, I feel like it would be cool to sit down and just like because like I put together all of my own tracks and things like that too. So to sit down and like put together a bunch of songs that wouldn't go on a VK album would be like a really fun outlet, I think,
Yeah,
for
I think a lot of people, some of the famous ones from the past, it actually made them better for the band. I mean, at first people were like, "Oh, they're breaking away." No, getting out there, being able to do that outlet, be that creative outlet. Okay, I did that now. Now I want to come back to the band and bring that
Mm.
experience. So it actually is a benefit. Yeah. Or I
It's
mean,
like
most
yeah,
people.
yeah, well, like I've seen it with so many artists. Like um Amy Lee did a little bit of that for a while. She
Yeah.
like I love Amy Lee's solo music. I feel like it's not spoken about enough. Like I love Amy Lee in
No.
general, as we can tell. But
Sure.
like
Sure.
I love her solo music. I feel like it's not spoken about enough. It's like because she's a classical pianist
Yeah.
too, and a composer, and she released a bunch of electronic stuff,
Oh,
like
wow.
classical electronic stuff. Yeah, like she released a whole album, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Um,
I'm gonna have to look into that. Yeah, I haven't heard that.
yeah, another one that like I mean, it's kind of a bit of a different circumstance. If you know the band Delane,
Yes.
yeah, Charlotte Wessels, like the whole band left at one point, but then Charlotte Wessels went and she like
Went
did
on
her
her
own
own.
paid,
Yeah.
yeah, she did her Patreon thing.
Oh,
And I love Charlotte's music.
voice.
Like
Yeah.
her music that her newer stuff is a lot heavier, but like Charlotte, I think yeah, one that I didn't mention, like while writing this album, Charlotte Wessels was one of my favorite artists at the time as well. I love her like her new stuff, and it's not strictly metal. Everything's so different. So I
Yeah.
love a lot of that experimental stuff as well. But again, like every time I write that, it kind of just like filters into the band. So I think I just want to like sit down and try to do something for myself completely. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. Yeah, I'd love to hear the chorus, but
I should try it. I've never done it. So yeah.
something to think about. Yeah. Um, okay. I think I've run out of questions, but if you want to talk about the album or if there's anything else that I missed, and I'm sure I missed a lot because a lot of this stuff you talked about didn't know about. So yeah, if there's anything else you wanted to cover that I've missed.
Again, I just want to bring up like some of the shows that we've got. Well, like we got a few more that are being announced. I don't know when they're being announced. They're not announced yet though. We're just waiting for the okay from the promoters to announce them. We'll be playing shows with a few more friends of ours that we've played a lot with in the past. So that's so exciting.
And that's this year, next year.
This year.
Okay,
Yeah.
good, good.
Yeah, yeah, we've
Fall
got huh?
or fall or summer. Uh, you're,
Um
you're.
it
I got to remember, you're in the winter right now.
yeah, I'm trying
Oh,
to work out when
yeah.
it will be our spring,
Okay.
like around September, October.
Yeah.
It's like spring,
Fall,
summer.
fall up
Yeah.
here. All right.
Yeah, that's when you get really good shows down here, like during spring and summer.
All right.
Um, but yeah, we've got a few shows with a few like people that we haven't played with in a while coming up, which is like really exciting. Um,
Festivals or
no, not
individual?
festivals, individual shows.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We got a few of those. But yeah, the one that is announced at the moment is with Fate Gear
Okay.
from Japan. I'm so
Yeah.
excited for that one. It's their first time in Australia, so it's like
That
it's going to
is.
be really good. Yeah, it's here in Melbourne
Yeah.
at a venue called Stay Gold, which we haven't played at in like 2 years. We
Yeah.
haven't played there for ages, so it's cool to be back. It feels like it's a very comfy venue for me. It feels like home because I played there so much like a few years back.
When
So
you're
we've got that coming up. That's what I'm probably most excited for at the moment. And for that one as well, if anyone in Melbourne comes, we're going to be playing pretty much the whole new record
oh,
with
good. There you go.
Lacuna.
There's
Lacuna,
another reason to go.
come because we're playing like the whole new album basically. Yeah.
And you don't think you'll have CDs or albums to hand out at that point?
We will have like old records, but we're
Okay.
thinking of potentially again, this is all in the works, so I'm saying this with like half confidence. We're thinking of maybe doing a few like burnt CDs and just releasing just a couple
Oh, okay.
tracks, just to a few, just to leak it a little bit, just to a few people,
Yeah.
the lucky people that can come to the show.
And you'll sign them maybe, or yeah,
Of
there you
course.
go. I mean, who doesn't want that? Yeah. Um, to get something that's leaked before the actual album comes out, that's another reason to go. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, totally come and also come to support Fate Gear because it's their first time in Australia. So like that's such a big thing for a band, especially like a band from overseas, like coming to Australia. Australia is hard to tour, so um, it's such a big, a big achievement for them. So
It's
I'm
a
very
big
happy for
continent,
them.
and yeah, the trying to encompass that whole continent is tough. Yeah, and you
Yeah.
when you come over there, you want to hit all the major cities, and they're all
Mm.
spread on the outside of the country or
It's so hard to
continent.
tour
Yeah,
this country. Yeah. You have to drive through the center sometimes and then it gets so hot because you're in the desert, and then yeah, you make it up. It's a really massive like continent to
and I may
tour.
have asked you this before, but have you been to the Dead Heart, the Red Heart?
I haven't. I haven't. I've been like around it. Um, the a show that's kind of closest to like you would say like the desert is Broken Hill. It's
Yeah,
where Mad Max was
that's.
filmed.
I was going to say that's. I knew that name. Yeah,
Yeah, and like we've done a few shows there. I might have another one there, maybe. Again, it's all in the works. One of my favorite towns in Australia. It's so small that you kind of go there and they're like, "Oh my God, they're back! Everyone knows who you are."
yeah,
um, it's a little mining town, but it's that's probably the closest like into the desert I've been. It's crazy because it's so hot during the day, but it's
yeah,
so cold at night.
yeah.
Um, Driving through there is wild because it's like red sand for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, and then all of a sudden you're just like, oh my God, civilization.
And you're probably thinking of Mad Max and the cars and all that.
Yeah, well, that's because that's where it was filmed. That's it's like
Yeah.
it's all there. I remember when we played a show there a few years back. They were filming Mad Max. What's the most? Is it two or
The new
three?
one, yeah, I
Yeah,
can't remember.
they were filming the new one when we were there. So like when we played that show, the people that came was like all the film crew
Oh wow,
for Mad Max. So I
yeah,
was like, oh, that's sick. That's awesome.
very
Very cool. But I do want to play more shows there. A lot of bands are doing regional tours here now. So I think we're looking at doing some more regional shows. Die Art is Murder and Make Them Suffer are going on a few regional tours
okay.
um, in a few months. Oh, like no, like this month and next month. So we're looking at doing more regional stuff as well because I love playing through towns. It's a really cool like community to play through.
Good people.
Yeah,
Yep, and
good,
that's
great
important.
people. Yeah,
Yeah.
great people. Always, all the time.
Anything else we didn't cover? And
I feel
thank you
like we
for.
covered everything.
I probably should wait until after you say that, but go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Thank you again. Like I think we did cover everything. I feel like I just yapped a lot.
No, that's an interview.
That
No,
is an
you
interview.
did not. You spoke well.
Thank you.
But yeah, thank you very much for taking this time. It's 6 o'clock in the morning over there, and she's up earlier than that, but still, that's that early for to yank somebody out of bed for for this, but thank you very much for taking the time and doing this, because you unveiled a lot of information despite, keeping some of it a secret, which is good. Um, just can't wait. And I hope everyone else out there, again, if you haven't heard her or this band yet, make it this year or whenever they release this album. Uh, get in there and give it a chance. It is just, and once you hear it, you're going to be a fan like me, and you're going to want to hear more. And it
Um,
looks like she's got plenty to deliver yet in those libraries of music. So there's a lot more coming.
yeah, well, thank you so much for having me again. It's always such a pleasure to
Thank
come
you.
and talk to you. I always get so excited when you reach out. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
I appreciate that. I try to make this low key and just down to earth, like we're sitting at a couch talking about, in this case, an album that's coming. But if it is already out, then we talk about that album, and we talked a little bit about that. But yeah, it's not a hyper situation. It's low key, and you handled it perfectly, as you usually do.
Oh, thank you again, and thank you for, being amazing. Like
Thank you.
to talk to as always. You're so good at you're so good at your job, and it's always a
Appreciate it.
pleasure. And I feel like everyone that's worked with you will say the same. So thank you
My
so
wife keeps
much.
saying you should monetize this and do this
You
full time.
should. You should. You should. You're
Uh,
so good at it. It's always so
I'm
like,
not sure about that, but I love it. So that's what she says. You love it
yeah,
so much. Why don't you do this? Yeah, but I like teaching too.
of course. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it in my undergraduate major was international relations. So
Well,
being
there
able
you
to
go.
talk, exactly, being able to talk to people from Belarus, from Australia, from Japan. I haven't talked to anyone. Well, no, I haven't talked to any bands from Japan. So that band from Japan, if you wouldn't mind just saying, hey,
Oh,
pop,
of
pop
course.
him a copy of your MP3s. I'd love to review and interview him. But
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course.
yeah, no, it's such a fantastic thing to get together with people and talk. And thank you, thank you very
Oh,
much
no,
for
thank you.
everything. Um, Enjoy the rest of your day. And is it Monday, right, or is it still Sunday?
No, it's Monday.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I
Monday.
thought. All
Yeah.
right. Well, enjoy the week ahead, and thank you again,
Oh,
Victoria. Hold on, I'm going to put it on pause, and then you and I can talk. But thank you very much.
thank you so much.